when I talk about the CLI, the command line interface from Micronaut, they're really one and the same thing. So we have, from the same code base, we're building a command line interface and also the web UI, both powered by GraalVM and native image, which is pretty cool. So in terms of the CLI, if you're familiar with Micronaut 1, we have this MN CLI, which you can install by SDK man. So you can say SDK install Micronaut, and we'll set it up. With it, it's essentially doing the same thing as Micronaut Launch, but the cool thing is that you can use it offline. So if we ever one day get to fly on airplanes again, you can create Micronaut apps offline, which is quite cool. And and it's interactive. So you can say I can say mn create app demo, and it'll create my app like that. But you can also just type mn and hit enter, and you drop into interactive mode, and I can say create app demo, and then I can say I want to use Groovy, and I want to use Spock, and I want to include features, data, JDBC, and whatever else. There's probably a bunch of other things we can do in here. And hit enter, and it'll create my app. And notice how quick as well it executes. So that's because the previous version of Micronaut 1, the command line interface was written in Java, and this one is computed into a native binary image. And we actually worked with the SDK man folks to allow publishing of GraalVM native images to SDK man, so that we can distribute different versions for OS 10 and Linux and Windows and so forth. And of course, you still get all of the project generation and source code generation. So I can cd in here and say mn create controller foo, and that'll generate me a controller and a test. You can also do things like mn create bean bar, and if we look at the generated source code in here, oops, I'm just going to close that. Lots of things going on in here. You'll see that you've got essentially the generated project and tests, which will help you get going, so that you don't have to create those manually, and they're all generating Spock and so forth. And you can immediately run those. In this case, I'm using Grail, and of course. We are able to directly run those. And another thing that we did was, we added support for Gradle-W/T, which is continuous mode, so that you can essentially run Micronaut in a kind of continuous build mode. So I can come in here and make a change to this class, and it will automatically recompile and rerun the application, which a lot of folks like to have that experience of automatic restarts and so forth. So Micronaut will do that now, and which is pretty nice. So the CLI is definitely a lot better in Micronaut 2, being native and being much faster and more efficient.